How you doing everybody? Hope you're having a great day. In this video we're gonna be taking a look at Irene Belserion from Fairy Tail. Irene Belserion is the strongest female wizard in the Irenes Empire and is the second strongest of the Springen 12. She is the former queen of the country Dragnoff. She is over 400 years old as she was alive during the war which led to the near extinction of dragons. She has scarlet hair and brown eyes. She made her first appearance in chapter 483 but was first hinted at in chapter 443. Now let's take a look at her history. Not much is known about Irene's past as nothing about her birth or her life before she became an adult has been revealed. In chapter 514, it is revealed that she is the ruler of Dragnoff, a country that was on the continent of Ishgar. This country was unique as dragons and humans coexisted in a time when both races were on bad terms. At this point in her life, she is shown as a kind and caring person as well as a good ruler. She was also married to Ron, a general who married her due to political reasons. Her story picks up when her dragon friend Belserion reveals the dragons that want to protect humans are going to lose the war. This is when Irene's proposition that dragons teach their magic to humans to balance out the scales of the war. Little did she know that this decision will change her life forever. With dragons teaching humans their magic, Irene became the first dragon slayer. If you want to learn more about dragon slayers, I've already done a video on them and a link to that video should be in the description below. The video might be a bit outdated, but it's a great place to start if you want to understand dragon slayers. The introduction of dragon slayers changed the nature of the war as dragons favoring coexistence were gaining the upper hand only to meet their end at the hands of Acnologia, a powerful dragon slayer who would later be called the Dragon King and is mostly responsible for the death of all dragons. A side effect of humans using dragon magic is that after a certain point in time, the dragon slayer slowly transforms into a dragon, and from that what has been revealed so far, there is no way to reverse the effect. Ron, Irene's husband, would accompany her into many battles and saw firsthand the destruction that Acnologia brought forth, and seeing that his wife was showing signs of transforming into a dragon herself, he imprisoned her, not knowing that she was with child. Irene was imprisoned for 3 years where she was beaten, tortured and humiliated before being sentenced to death, where she reveals her pregnancy, explaining that she cast a spell that would stop time for the unborn baby, keeping the child safe in her womb. Rung, not believing her, proceeded to cut open her womb. In a moment of being overwhelmed by the need to protect her child, Irene's transformation was complete, and in her rage she managed to kill Rung. After her escape, she continued to search for a way to restore her old body as she began to detest her new dragon body, but to no avail, until she met Xerath Dragneel, hundreds of years later, who cast a spell that would transform her body into that of her old human body, but she would still remain a dragon. Later, she would realize that her new body did not allow her the same pleasures that her previous body did. An example would be the loss of her sense of taste. It was at this moment that triggered her to go insane, as she desperately wanted to turn back into a human. She came up with a plan to enchant herself onto her unborn child once she was born to regain a human body, but the plan failed. Losing interest in her child, she abandoned her in the back alleys of Rosemary Village. This child would later grow up to be known as erza'a Scarlet, aka Titania, Queen of the Fairies. In the time between abandoning her daughter and her appearance in the Irenes Empire arc, Irene has become a student of Xerath and a member of the Springen 12, an elite unit serving directly under Xerath, Emperor of the Irenes Empire. She is also the leader of the Irene Squad, which consists of herself and her 2 attendants, Heinine and Juliet, who are personalities enchanted onto a black and white sword given human shape. Making her appearance on Ishgar with Larkay, Dragneel and Bloodman, her fellow Springen 12 members, she changes the weather from snowy to something akin to a beautiful summer day in a moment. She later challenges Acnologia to battle where she manages to hold her own before casting the spell Universe 1, which changes the terrain and landscape of the entire continent. The effect of Universe 1 places her inside Mercurius, castle of the King of Fiore, and proceeds to defeat the royal guards and take over the castle. She is later seen appearing before Mary Jane, who at this point has defeated her attendants. Irene swiftly defeats her and is ordered by August, the leader of the Springen 12, to appear before Xerath. Once reaching Fairy Tale's guild hall, which at this point has been taken over by Xerath, she is ordered to remove the fairy heart from Mavis Vermilion, the first guild master of Fairy Tale. Due to the defeat of Invelura, a Springen 12 member, the spell Ice Slave was broken, allowing Mavis to use her illusion magic to trick Irene and escape. Irene later proceeds to cast Berserker on the Elver's army, making them stronger but mindless as well. She is later seen approaching Erza'a and Wendy, but is made a victim of Larcade's Pleasure, a spell that causes those who have experienced sexual pleasure to experience it until the spell was cancelled by Larcade. To learn more about Larcade Dragneel, I've done a video on him and a link to that video should be in the description below. She then battles Erza'a and Wendy, and with ease she is able to dodge and parry their attacks, and proceeds to reveal to Erza'a about their relationship as mother and daughter. She then continues their battle but realizes that Wendy is a compatible host for her new body. She then takes over Wendy's body and is almost able to kill Erza'a, and Wendy's mind, which is now hosted in Irene's old body, which has more magical power than Wendy's body. Realizing this, she switches back to her original body and undoes the spell Xerath cast on her and turns into a dragon. Irene then casts Deus Sema, which brings down a meteor but is destroyed and is stabbed by Erza'a with a sword enchanted by dragon magic. Defeated, Irene stabs herself with one of Erza''s swords and reveals that it was Erza''s smile that reminded her of her love for her daughter. After her death, the enchantment that she cast was undone and returning the continent to its original shape. Her body is later destroyed by Acnologia, who learns that she was the one who started Dragon Slayer magic. Let's move on to her powers and abilities. Being one of the Springen 12, Irene has an immense amount of magical power, and being over 400 years old, she has learned and developed new magic spells that can have continent scale effects, like the spell Universe 1, which can change the landscape of a continent. Irene specializes in enchantment magic, being knowledgeable enough to change personalities, the weather, people, and objects. She is powerful enough to remove Fairy Heart from Mavis Vermilion, a feat that was considered impossible. Some of her spells are Deus Zero, a spell that can detach enchantments from objects that were previously enchanted. Berserker, a spell that increases the enchanted's speed and strength but costs them their sanity. Being the first Dragon Slayer and fully turning into a dragon, Irene's lifespan has surpassed that of a human and increased her magic capacity. Her physical attributes have also been increased to where she can take spells head-on without suffering almost to no damage. Though it was not revealed what her dragon magic allowed her to do, we do know that she is able to cast more powerful enchantments. She is also able to cast a spell that allows her to project a giant eye in the sky and is able to view all that comes into her field of vision. She is also capable of sensing wizards from great distances and is able to determine their numbers and strength. Now let's go on to her weaknesses. Being as powerful as she is, there are not many weaknesses that Irene possesses. The only one that has been shown is one typical to all Dragon Slayers, that being dragon or dragon slaying magic. Now let's talk about some extra info that might interest you. In some translations of the manga, she is called Irene Belserion. Her husband's name was not given in the manga. She is one of the few people to go up against Acnologia and come out somewhat victorious. In her dragon form, she identifies as a sage dragon. She is one of the only 3 Dragon Slayers that have been revealed that can change into a dragon and back into human. Thank you for watching the video. Please like and subscribe for more content and comment down below on what videos you'd like to see me do next.
this video.